Cody is another one of those characters with a million tools, and most of them were changed in pretty subtle ways in Omega, so I consider it highly likely that I missed some stuff here and there. Feel free to chime in the comments if you know something I don't cover. Crouch Jab appears to be 3-frame startup now, while Crouch Short seems to be 4. This is swapped from Ultra. Crouch Short has better frame advantage. It seems to be +3 on hit now, so Cody can finally start combos from lows. Close forward is now 2 hits. Only the first hit cancels, and neither hit has juggle potential. So this doesn't appear to do anything beyond lowering the damage of a cancelled close forward. Low forward appears to be much better on hit and block. Close Fierce seems to be a bit faster, giving Cody some new links. However, the damage was cut down from 100 to 80, the same as his Crouch Fierce. Close Roundhouse is now 2 hits and launches. Mid-screen you can combo Medium Ruffian or EX Criminal Upper. And in the corner you can juggle both into it and out of it. Most of Cody's frame advantage hasn't changed much. A lot of his old max damage routes still work. But you do have a couple new routes which are situationally useful. And as usual for Cody, you have some really strong character specific links. Onto command normals. Back strong is still an ideal anti-air normal. You can still link out of it on the ground, but that doesn't seem good for anything. Cody's other SF4 anti-airs all still seem to work well. Interestingly, Crouch Forward received an anti-air hitbox. Crack Kick doesn't launch as high, so without meaty, you can't do 2 in a row anymore. Most of his old juggles from it still work. But if you use it in an existing juggle, it seems to end the combo there. Towards Strong seems to be pretty much identical to Ultra. Towards Fierce is still plus enough to combo against standing opponents, but the input buffer doesn't work properly for it, so hitting the link feels like a 1 or 2 frame window instead of the usual 3 or 4. Fake Bad Stone is still there. You can now cancel into it, which I don't think Cody could do before. It's not plus enough to link anything, but maybe you could use it to bait and then block a reversal Ultra. Bad Spray is still there too. It's still fully hittable and throwable, unlike SF4 where I think it got hit in vulnerability. You can still super cancel it, or FADC it to make it safe on block and comboable on hit. Curiously, it's the second hit that FADCs now, though it's still a JP1 state. It's still really minus on block. Hitting down +3 kicks gives Cody a little dodge the manual calls Crime Sway. This is something V-Cody had in Alpha 3. You can't cancel into it, but you can easily use it to dodge fireballs. It seems to have total hit invulnerability, though it can still be grabbed. And it's got shortish recovery, so it might have some potential as a surprise anti-air. Cody has a new target combo, his chain from Final Fight. It's inputted with 4 towards jabs. You can juggle the last hit into EX Criminal Upper, cancel it into Super, or FADC it into either Ultra. The scaling is unfortunately quite high. The chain juggles properly, which is a bit odd considering it has no JP and Cody can't make a free juggle state. It does let him get the chain off of a focus backdash. If you hold down on the last hit, it turns into a grab. The damage is higher, but you can't convert off it, and the repositioning might be inconvenient. Finally, if you hold back during the third hit, Cody will whiff a jab in the opposite direction. This cancels the target combo early and allows for powerful links. This strange whiff is a reference to his infinite in Final Fight. X Cody and A Cody in Alpha 3 both had supers referencing this infinite too, but this is the first time it's been meterless. It's not a true infinite in this game because it has a little bit more total pushback each time. You can link into this Final Fight cancel pretty easily, but 2 instances of scaling for 80 damage is actually usually pretty bad. I couldn't find a difference at all with Cody's air normals. Neutral Jump Fierce still slams, and Jump Roundhouse still does marginally below average damage. However, Cody does still have a bunch more normals I haven't talked about yet. Great. Knife jabs still come out fast, chain, and do good damage and chip, but Cody's options to combo out of them are actually neutered since his combo options off low short are worse. Knife Strong's first hit will now cancel into special moves. That sounds amazing for his knife confirming options, but sadly the cancel will only activate up close. This is frustrating because your only other cancelable normals of the knife are close forward, which requires you to be close, and low short, which as I said has limited cancel routes. The knife jabs themselves now cancel, but they mostly have the same conversion routes as low short. You can also link into his towards jab chain, which sadly is pretty good here. Knife Crouch Fierce is still a fantastic anti-air and has a ton of frame advantage, but the link to Ultra 2 is gone. You can link it to itself, but there's no conversion from that. You can also link it to towards jab, but again, you're too far away to do anything. So your best ender is usually one Crouch Fierce into a light normal cancel. If you grab or taunt, Cody will still drop the knife. However, if you focus attack with the knife, Cody has a new animation. Despite the difference in animation, the two focus attacks appear to have identical range. This also means Cody keeps the knife during FADCs, which is ironically usually a bad thing. Knife Toss is vastly improved. It still loses to real fireballs, but it comes out much faster and you can juggle out of it. You can go into medium Ruffian, EX Criminal Upper, or Ultra 2 mid-screen. Now, onto special moves more formally. Bad Stone still works mostly the same way. Light is the most advantageous, Heavy has the most range, the startup is horrible, the recovery is good, you can charge them, and you can fake them. You can still use EX Stone in punishes or after level 3 focus to maximize damage. But if you do it with Light Punch plus Heavy Punch, there's a new EX Stone he throws low to the ground. It comes out much faster than his other fireballs, so you can combo into it no problem. It works more like a traditional EX fireball. It's plus enough on hit that you can link out of it in the corner. And it's extremely plus if you FADC it. It will travel underneath other fireballs in Fireball Wars, which lets you punish those fireballs more easily, but at the expense that you'll trade rather than winning clean. Criminal Upper has been rather significantly revamped. All meterless versions launch the opponent much higher, allowing for juggles into EX Criminal Upper or Ultra 2. Additionally, there is a greater disparity in the startup and range of each version. Light comes out very quickly, while Heavy is actually too slow to combo from lights. This creates some awkwardness in certain combos, where one version will fail to reach but another will start too slowly. Light Criminal Upper's first hit now knocks down, but you can still FADC the first hit of Medium, Hard, or EX. The combos were hard to hit in Ultra, but they're much more practical now. This route used to have 3 one-frame links. Unfortunately, it seems the EX Criminal Upper has no invincibility, so it's mostly used to pick up juggles. Meterless versions of Ruffian Kick are basically identical to Ultra. The hard version seems to recover just a bit faster, allowing easier juggles. All versions now cancel the super, which naturally means all versions can FADC too. The heavy version canceled the super won't juggle properly, but you can just juggle the super after the heavy one, so it doesn't matter. EX Ruffian has been overhauled, and now launches the opponent, allowing a juggle into EX Criminal Upper. This double EX seems to be Cody's strongest way to spend 2 bars mid-screen. Ultra 2 will juggle as well, but it seems to be character specific. You can also FADC the last hit for a juggle to Ultra 1, though it's 3 bars to spend. Unfortunately, these extra hits make it worse at punishing fireballs. This increases his reliance on low forward Zonk and the sway. Meterless Zonk appears to be identical to AE 2012, given that level 3 Zonk FADC will not give a juggleable launch like it does in Ultra. All versions still cancel the super, which hits properly. EX Zonk juggles to EX Criminal Upper or Ultra 2 naturally. If you FADC it, it launches the opponent much higher, modifying your combo options slightly. Cody has one new special move, Mega Crash, executed by hitting all 3 kicks. It's his reversal from Final Fight. There's no meterless version of this move, it always costs 1 bar, however it doesn't deduct from his health like it does in Final Fight or SF4. It's unsafe, and you can't FADC it on hit or block. The damage isn't amazing, but it actually does hit on both sides, and it's very fast for the front hit. It's also a 1-button reversal that doesn't require charging like his Zonk, so you can do it very, very quickly. Notably, it has an insane amount of juggle potential, though you can't generally combo out of it. Cody's super only has a single version now. It's much faster, does higher damage, goes through fireballs, and picks up combos very easily. In fact, it works in every single place Cody can get a juggle at all. It's better than his old super on almost every metric, but that's pretty standard in Omega. Ultra 2 now has a proper juggled version I've been referencing throughout the video. It's significantly weaker than the grounded connect version, but it's important to remember you can land it off of a lot of meterless or 1-bar setups. Ultra 2 still goes through fireballs, but it no longer links off of close strong or knife crouch fierce without counter hit. Ultra 1 is basically unchanged and has all the same setups as SF4, and though it does more damage in its full connect setups, the ubiquity of Ultra 2 means it's almost always the preferred Ultra now. There are a lot of references to Final Fight in this Cody design, and many of them made their way into SF5, most notably his Final Fight chain and Mega Crash. I feel they really didn't try to make the knife much better, but this Cody seems to be very fundamentally similar to his Ultra version. His combo routes are completely overhauled now his links are consistent, but his neutral almost hasn't changed. Unfortunately, I think a lot of things that were annoying about his old design are still annoying, but it is refreshing to be able to play him without regards to execution. He's probably a little better overall than his Ultra version.